I wonder, is that button? That button sticks. It doesn't work. Good morning. Well.
Am I not? Oh, there we go.
Now you're on.
Good morning.
So here it is on a Wednesday morning. Lots to talk about with the Democratic convention last night. Hillary is now officially the first woman to be a candidate endorsed by a major party for president of the United States. It was pretty positive yesterday, however, there were protesters. These Bernie Sanders protesters will not go away. We'll get to that stuff. Christine, good morning. Lots to talk about with all of this, including Monaski has a story of his own this morning. Where did you get crutches? And why do you have crutches?
So, in my infinite wisdom, I'm still kind of dealing with, I don't know, whatever I have here. I don't even know. But so I slept pretty much all day. I mean, I left the show at 7:15 yesterday. I took some NyQuil and really slept all day till almost 5 o'clock. And, you know, I woke up. I felt good. I had, you ever like sweat it out type of a thing?
Yeah,
I
they say that's a good thing, I guess.
So I felt great. And I said, all right, you know what? It's softball night. I'm going to go. So I went, and I was running, and apparently ripped up my knee somehow. I think, you know, I hate to say this because if it's not the case, I feel like I sound like a whiner and a crybaby because I can deal with pain, but I do think I ripped something, a ligament or a meniscus, or I don't even know. I don't want to guess what. But, yeah, I could not get up. I mean, yesterday when it happened, I got up, or last night I should say I got up.
But it's worse
this
today.
morning.
Wow.
It's
so
like
you haven't been to a doctor yet.
No.
Okay.
And I just want to thank my mother who came in at 5:15 this morning on her way to work because she had a knee injury some years ago and dropped off crutches. Yeah. So I mean, it's bad. It's really bad.
Okay. So it's old age. You're getting old. That's just the problem here.
The funny thing is I've been thinking about this lately because I just heard a story of a guy who tore a ligament in his ankle, and he was 39, and he said he was playing basketball, and he's like, I said to the guy next to me, I said, why did you just kick me? And the guy's like, I didn't kick you. So he was just playing basketball and ripped the ligament, you know, and he said his doctor told him, you know, this happens all the time. Guys in their 30s and 40s still think they're 21, and they don't stretch. They don't do the proper things, and then you're just doing something routine like running, and all of a sudden you rip something. Or
just getting out of bed. That'll do it. Anyway, so you're going to see a doctor today.
Yeah, I have to. I can't. Yeah. This is unbelievable.
I mean, explain to him, Christine, are you there? Do I have you here, or are you over here?
I'm here.
Okay, good. So do you explain to him what old age does? It's just as the aging goes on. Oh, Lordy.
So are you implying that I'm old?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
Christine,
I'm saying
you are young and beautiful.
All the old people you've witnessed, Christine. That's where I'm going.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for clarifying that.
Digging right out of that hole.
No, I was never one of those people who thought that, you know, oh, once you hit 30, this happened, and once you hit 40, that happened. It's all true, Monaski. So you really have to take care of yourself. And don't you have a foot issue anyway? Because that could exacerbate anything. Like, that could already stress out your knee. And then if you do something crazy.
Yeah. So it's funny you brought that up because it's actually the foot on the other leg. This is my left knee, and it was my right foot and ankle. But you know what happened on vacation, actually? One of the places we stayed had this amazing, it must have been brand new, king-size bed. I slept on that bed one night and woke up, and I'm like, my whole leg is fine. I feel great. My foot and ankle pain has actually been gone since I've been on vacation from one night on this bed at, I don't even remember, Hampton Inn. We stayed at a Hampton Inn. It was the most amazing night of sleep I've ever had, and I woke up pain-free, and I haven't been dealing with that since then.
Okay. And thank you, Christine, for talking about the people you've witnessed who've gotten older.
Thank
really,
you. Thank
very
you.
nice.
I think he needs a MyPillow for his knee.
He might need just that. All right. Thoughts on last night? Bill Clinton gave a very impassioned speech. He left out a few key portions of history that just didn't get talked about. There might have been an Oval Office moment with a desk and and an intern that didn't get talked about, and a few others. But at the end of the day, he went through history, a history that he's had with Hillary Clinton and Christine. It was a pretty powerful speech, and they really are working hard on creating a personal side of Hillary Clinton.
Yes, and I could be wrong on this, but I think Bill Clinton's speech might be the most impassioned speech of the whole DNC, and we'll see, what President Obama brings tonight. But I do think that he is the one that this Democratic Party is looking to, not necessarily Hillary Clinton as a speech maker. So we'll see. I was impressed by Clinton's speech somewhat last night because he's just a great orator.
Yeah.
No matter what side of the political aisle you sit on, he's a great speaker, and that's one of the reasons why he was elected in the first place. Obama's a good speaker. I don't know that he'll have the same passion going into this convention. I thought Bernie Sanders' speech was interesting. I thought more interesting was the vote by his brother, who is a delegate.
That was he crying? I couldn't tell if he was. Yeah, that was really something.
They were both crying.
Yeah, that was, and I really thought the respect that they gave to Bernie Sanders, everybody gave during the roll call, was really pretty impressive. However, still outside, these supporters are booing Bernie Sanders. That's because these people are, in many cases, people who've never voted before, and they're looking for this new, I don't know. Maybe there should be a freebie. Maybe they feel they should get their money back that was given to them to actually do all of this. I don't know. I don't get it. But they were 1,000 plus protesting in the streets as Bernie Sanders made the announcement yesterday.
Madam Chair, I move that the convention suspend the procedural rules. I move that all votes cast by delegates be reflected in the official record. And I move that Hillary Clinton be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party for President of the United States.
And here's that part, Christine, you're talking about, where Bernie Sanders' brother, Larry, made his, this is a really impassioned speech during the vote here.
I want to bring before this convention the names of our parents.
Is it his brother, or is it actually Bernie? What do you think?
Time for Bernie or Bro.
His brother's name is Larry.
Is Larry? Yeah.
David?
Larry David. Yeah, but listen in and feel the lair. Listen to this.
Eli Sanders and Dorothy Glassberg Sanders. They did not have easy lives, and they died young. Mm-hmm. They would be immensely proud of their son and his accomplishments. They loved the New Deal of Franklin Roosevelt, and would be especially proud that Bernard is renewing that vision. It is with enormous pride that I cast my vote for Bernie Sanders.
Well, there you go. And Bernie Sanders telling supporters it's easier to boo than to face your kids if Donald Trump wins.
Defeat Donald Trump and elect Hillary Clinton. It's easy to boo, but it is harder to look your kids in the face who would be living under a Donald Trump.
Okay, there you go. That was last night. 6:20. Here's Christine with an update right now from the newsroom for Wednesday morning. Good morning, Christine Bellino.
Good morning. Well, tonight, President Barack Obama will join the festivities as the Democratic National Convention celebrates the historic nomination of the first female presidential candidate from a major party. A new report notes a big spike in the shooting deaths of law enforcement officers in the first half of this year, and authorities say they're awaiting autopsy results to be certain, but it appears that a murder-suicide is behind the discovery of the bodies of a mother and her 2 children inside a home in suburban Phoenix, Arizona.
All right, forecast. A real nice sunny day today, mid to upper 80s. Going to be hot, but full sunshine and a beautiful day. Partly cloudy tonight, mid-60s, and then tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon with a high back into the mid-80s. Currently, we're at 65 degrees to start off Wednesday morning. Coming up, I want to talk about this. There's apparently a craze going on out there, and we know it firsthand. We dealt with it with a graduation party, where people are stealing the box out of weddings. So the card box where everybody puts the money, there are several, and it seems like it is some sort of I wouldn't call it a craze. What would we call it? A rash of robberies at weddings. And we'll talk about that coming up here. 6:21. Tanya J. Powers on the line right now. And the convention, of course, protesters, but a big night for Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning.
So what do you think? What were your thoughts yesterday?
Well, it was a big night for Bill Clinton. He was the main speaker last night. Hillary Clinton appearing via satellite. You mentioned the protesters and the Bernie supporters who were quite unhappy with the fact that, Bernie did play a role in making, Hillary the nominee, saying, stopping the whole thing when they got to Vermont, and, kind of playing the same role that she did, several years ago with Barack Obama. And I thought that was kind of an interesting way to do that. As for his supporters who were angry, the walkout, I don't know if you saw that, but his supporters up and literally walked out of the convention when that happened. I was in the concourse right by one of the entrances where they were coming out of. And all of a sudden, the concourses are really packed anyway because people are trying to move around. There's so many folks there. But they were just, screaming out of these exits and coming into the concourse in the lobby area. And I was sort of like in the middle of all of that. They're chanting, walking, past us. It was all very orderly. There was no, violence or anything. Nobody got out of hand. But, boy, it was interesting to be literally in the middle of all of that.
Yeah. Well, listen, when you're brought up on T-ball and at the end of the game, everybody's a winner, this generation of potential voters doesn't seem to understand the process, it seems. It was really quite interesting. They really tried to humanize Hillary last night, something that we really don't hear much of.
What do you mean? We don't hear much from Hillary, or about the personal story, or
the personal stuff, humanizing Hillary Clinton. That's something we normally don't hear. But Bill Clinton, really worked hard, and so did many others, to humanize, and they really played the female card, the first woman nominated to a major party for president.
Well, yeah, it's history making. You kind of have to recognize that no matter which side you're on in this. That is kind of a big deal, and I can see why they were making a big deal out of that. It was a big night for her, obviously. He did get very autobiographical and told more of the personal details than I think most of us have heard. About their life together, how they met, and it was what Bill Clinton does really well. He's very folksy and does that, and that's what people expect of him, and he definitely did that last night.
All right, and tonight the president is expected to speak tonight, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of an impassioned speech he gives for Hillary Clinton.
Yes, it will be interesting to see. Vice President Biden, President Obama, and Tim Kaine, the running mate, all scheduled to speak tonight.
All right, Tanya Powers, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya J. Powers. I'm going to come right back and talk about the robberies. We'll call them robberies, a rash of robberies at wedding receptions. And then I have a personal story on this as well that happened a few years ago. But this is becoming a real problem, a real issue. And we'll talk about it when we come right back. Hold tight. 625 at WIBX.